It's part 2 of my conversation with Kenya K. Stevens. Kenya is not only a thought leader in the world of non-monogamy and polyamory, but she also is walking the walk. She's written so many incredible books. I am such a big fan. And if you saw our first episode, she gives me some coaching on my own journey with polyamory and non-monogamy. And today we are going to talk about men's relationship to polyamory and what men can do to know if poly is right for them and to prepare themselves for polyamory. She's got so much to share. Thank you, Kenya, so much for joining me.
It's so nice to be here,
It's such a pleasure to have you.
Oh, this is good.
Oh, this is so good.
So are we going to get juicy again? Like,
yeah, let's. I don't think we can prevent juiciness.
Oh,
it's so juicy over
prevent the
here.
moisture. No, polyamory is the buzzword today.
Why do you think that is?
Me. I mean, we pushed it.
We have been doing it, yeah.
For the past 20 years, but also it's just inevitable and it's smart.
Yeah.
And people are tired of a 66% divorce rate. 40% of U.S. couples are sexless.
Well,
today.
and we're all living until our 80s, 90s, 100s. Like
That's what I'm saying.
the
Like,
thought that we're going to find someone young in life and only want to have sex and only want to be emotionally committed
Right.
to them until, we
90
die
years.
it's just
we're
unlikely.
evolving, and really,
Yeah.
who's evolving is women.
Yeah.
Because it has not been men who've been monogamous for all this time. It's been women.
Say more about that. What do you mean?
Well, monogamy was not expected of men in this country.
Oh, yeah,
Ever.
never, ever. Right.
So they have not been monogamous. So it's women who are having a revolution in polyamory.
Interesting. So, like, culturally, men have always had some
Culturally, men
non-monogamy.
they were expected to have a mistress.
Yeah.
They were expected. I mean, I came here on, slave ships in 1619. My ancestors, the men were having sex with them for the entire time. The entire 400 years. That's why I'm, a little lighter than probably my ancestors were.
Right.
So they were never. And
There's
then
never
even
been
after,
expectation.
Yeah, even the
especially
1900s,
men with a lot of power, a lot of privilege, a lot of wealth.
It didn't matter. Even men without that, honey, they were never expected. It wasn't a part of the culture that they should be monogamous.
So the revolution has been women owning
it's
this.
all women.
Has that been was that your personal experience? Were you the person in your life who realized this, awakened this, and realized non-monogamy was right for you?
I think I did, but my husband didn't bargain for that. I mean, we got married 30 years ago as a monogamous couple, but he was able to talk and do some chest beating about, well, maybe one day we'll be polygynous. And I had to say, okay. I mean, I want to get married. So I'm like, okay, well, maybe. But never was I seriously considering polygyny. So when we got to year 10.
Which polygyny is multiple wives.
Polygyny
multiple
means
female.
multiple
female partners
who are all monogamous to a central male.
Right. Yeah, like the kind of the religious version of this that we see most often.
Yes. So when he brought that up at the year mark 10, just like you said in the last episode, I'm telling you.
At year 10.
It's year 7 to 10 is when couples go through this.
Right.
And it's when their natural biology wants to have community.
Right.
I
love that you put it that way, wants to have community, because, Helen Fisher writes in her work that our biology says, like, around year 2 to 3, 4 to 5, and 7 to 10, we have these natural shifts because our DNA wants to remix itself as many times as possible for the good of our species, right? It is better for our species if we match DNA, we match DNA, we match DNA. So it is like written into us that these shifts are going to happen. Okay, so he came to you at year 10, or you came to him?
He came to me at year 10 and said that he had met somebody who was a candidate for polygyny. And I said, oh, that's nice, but I don't really want polygyny. I was really honest. I did meet the woman. She was nice. I saw why he would like her. But my thing was just, if you're going to do this, I'm going to do it too.
Yeah.
I'm from Detroit. I'm from the North.
We're from Detroit. Yeah.
We keep having reasons to, we know, I'm not going to have a polygynous relationship.
Right.
I am bold enough to say what I want as well. If he was going to have me go through this change and shift of mindset, he's going to go through a change and shift of mindset too, and a readjustment.
And so was that was like natural for you? Came for that? You were like, you were obviously open to it.
I was open to it on both sides. Now he was not.
Oh.
He told me no. So that idea was scrapped, and then we talked about it for about 2 years before we did eventually open our marriage.
Okay. Oh, so you had a long period of conversation and moving through things. You didn't just like go out and start involving other people just on a whim.
Long and tedious.
Okay. Yeah. But that seems to me like that's also maybe part of the process. It doesn't need to be 2 years and it doesn't need to be tedious, but it needs to be thorough maybe?
It needs to be thorough and authentic. Again, step one is authentic communication. Now, my husband wasn't a good emotional space holder. So anytime I was angry, sad, upset, or any emotion besides happy, he lost it. Like he couldn't deal with it. He didn't want to talk to it. And that's not a situation where poly can thrive. So he had to learn. We had to develop tools. As you know, I'm a priestess. So I'm downloading tools from the ancestors. I'm saying, ancestors, how did we used to do this before Western culture? Because this shit doesn't work. Their communication systems, everything we learned here.
Not designed to like create community and not designed to create authenticity.
Yes. Men felt like they don't need to listen to feminine emotion or their own.
Well, I say this to men all the time in my coaching. Like, look, one of the greatest issues that men have is being with an emotional woman and not either caving or overpowering or running away.
That's right. So those were skills and tools that have to be, if any man wants polyamory, if he wants polygyny, you have to learn that first. You have to not only learn it intellectually, but you have to practice it.
And in Up Level, don't you say no cop-outs, no dropouts?
Yes.
Isn't that a part of the like if one of us is having a big emotion, but we're not creating a threat, we're not endangering anyone, we're not hurting anyone, and we're not hurting ourselves, then like learn to hold them in that.
Hold that space. And the way you do that is you're going to learn that it is not personal. See, there is a book called The Four Agreements that don't take it personal, but that's esoteric. How do you not take it personal?
Yeah.
That's what Up Level teaches.
Especially if you're so enmeshed, right? Or you're in a 10-year relationship and your life, you have children together, you have a home together, like you are like a unit at that point. So it is hard not to take their stuff personally. But I think, okay, I love this because, a lot of guys maybe are interested in non-monogamy, polygyny, polyamory, and they think, okay, this is going to start with us going out and having great sex with other people. And it's actually going to start with communication and up-leveling your ability to hold emotional presence and space for your partner.
Step one. All of my couples who come to me, none of them know how to hold emotional space. I'll ask one of my clients to, hey, listen to your wife's issue and then offer her empathy. First of all, he doesn't know how to offer empathy. I tell him how to offer 3-step empathy. First, let her know that you understand how she feels and why she might feel that way. Second, let her, they don't know a way to deliver empathy. They know what empathy means.
Right. Yes.
Like it's a bright light.
Yes. Empathy. Right. I can define it, but it's very different when you can actually move it in your body. Yes. It's a learned skill.
Yes, it is.
I mean, we often say, I'm pointing to Liz who's off camera. We often say that the one skill that men need to be most developed in is empathy.
That's right.
That is like the number one skill.
And
it's people, it's not just a gendered thing, but men especially, because women are conditioned more to experience empathy. But I think our empathy is often conditional.
Yes.
Our empathy often is did I like that? Do I like what you're doing? Then I can empathize with you. Is it beneficial to me? Then I can empathize with you. Instead of thinking about it holistically, is this good for everyone?
But really, there are so many other soothings as well. Empathy is one. There's reassurance, there's simulation, there's touch, there's open-ended questions. There's a lot of possible soothings to a person venting. But the biggest problem with holding space is we never identify who's speaking.
And just this is all covered in Up Level.
Everything.
This is all in there.
But I think that when you say communication, that men need to learn to communicate, they think we're talking about their vocabulary.
Right. It's more like a strategy.
Yeah,
right. Not an emotional experience.
Yes, we need a strategy for communication.
So what are some of the other maybe things that men should know before they even address poly or before they even bring up non-monogamy with their partner? I always say do your research.
Yeah, the other thing is that men and women believe that they should be somebody's everything. And that is what we're taught. We are taught that we will someday reach the pinnacle of being someone's everything. And it's just false. It is a fallacy, like a fantasy, like a Disney movie. And I think that men are surprised when women can love multiple men because they thought, I want to provide everything. That's what my dad told me to do. That's what the culture told me to do.
Right, and that's such a masculine urge anyways, right? Is to provide, but provide, yes, but provide everything, no.
But women too. women feel like if you need another woman, then there's something wrong with me.
Yeah.
Like,
Right.
how?
Right.
I remember meeting my husband's girlfriend, one of the first ones, and she really needed help with everything. And she didn't know how to do this. And she didn't know what this was. This is tofu. I've never heard of tofu. And she was like a damsel. I'm nowhere near a damsel. So he needed that as well as me.
Yeah, that brought
is.
out a completely different part of him, right? He got to like be in service and to provide something different that he was not going to be able to provide for you.
And so men can't understand that same thing. If he's providing responsibility, he's helping me with the bills, he's doing, and this other man is like, let's just go play around and f off and just like, you know, go to parties or play parties.
Right. It's not about something that you're lacking. It's about like that each individual connection is different.
Just think of skiing. If I like to ski and my husband will never go ski, this guy will take me skiing. Like, is that cool?
Yeah.
What is going to make it cool for the men?
Right. So we have a couple different things here. So we have men not realizing that women are built very much the same.
Yes.
Right. Or like there's consistency between us, right? Yes. Like men can see those archetypes that women bring out in them, but it's the same in reverse.
Yes.
Right. Then we have that. So if you're not willing to offer equity and fairness.
Okay.
So like, you know, like equity and fairness inside of the relationship. It doesn't have to be exactly the same.
Right.
But like offering your partner the same kind of understanding and kindness that you are asking for of them.
Thank you.
Space holding.
Yes.
What else do men need to keep in mind?
The second thing is, okay, so we have the space holding, we have the equity and fairness, and then the third thing, what did my husband most need to learn? I think that men have a concern being vulnerable themselves. Like really, my husband used to really have a problem telling me like something hard. So like, I want to stay out for the weekend.
Yeah.
Like I remember the first time, he didn't want to, I remember it was New Year's and he didn't want to tell me. I knew he wanted to tell me something all day, but he never told me. Why did the clock strike 12 and this man is out the door and did not come home till 7 a.m.? He never talked to me because he couldn't bring himself to face me and share that. A, he didn't want to feel like he had to ask mama.
Right.
And B, he didn't want to vulnerably say, you know, I feel a little weird about this. I don't want you to say no because I'm going to go anyway, but I feel.
And then I don't want to have to deal with your emotions maybe if I hurt your feelings.
Yes. So it was a lot of things. So male vulnerability, they have to drop into that. And then being able to deal with feminine vulnerability, knowing the tactic to deal with that, and then understanding that we are equal. We have equal desires. I like fresh attention.
Yeah.
Just like you do.
Yeah.
So they you know, a lot of men, I say equal because they're confused. They think we didn't know women wanted that.
Right.
Come on.
Yeah. We're human. You know, I like to talk about the alpha and beta bias. It's just like that we think men and women are too similar, like in academic research and in pharmaceutical research. And we're like, give everybody the same drug. And it's like, it hits very different. Oh my God.
Our health.
But on the other side, we have this other bias, which is that men and women are too different, right? And we happen to have that one a lot more in our own lives, right? Like women are like this, men are like this. I'm curious for the people who are thinking to themselves right now.
I want to just talk on that difference for a minute quickly. If we're so different, then what they need to realize is that our sex drive is higher than that of a man. I'll say our sex desire. But we won't even get into that.
No, if we're different, actually, let's be real in the way that we actually are different.
Right. We are different.
Right, in the ways that we have been conditioned.
Orgasms all day for the next 5 and 7 days without stopping.
Right. Honestly, when it comes to anything you've heard about men and women, when it comes to sex, like you can pretty much assume that it's not true or the opposite is true.
Thank you.
Right? Because all of this comes from a concerted effort that's not been centralized, but an effort to control women's sexuality and maintain control over our bodies.
That's right.
And so a lot of nonsense has been spread for a long time.
I had to get that in. That wouldn't be right without that.
Yeah,
But
thank you.
the ladies can tell you in the comments whether they've been subject to that. Men not knowing that we're human, that we wanted that.
Right.
I didn't know you wanted more attention.
Well, a lot of men hold themselves back because they're like, I didn't think she liked sex. I didn't think she wanted sex. I thought I was pushing sex on her.
Well, you know, when I was married sexually exclusively for the first 10 years, my sex drive did start to wane.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't choose what I wanted to do and what I wanted to do with my
You
body.
didn't have freedom.
I didn't.
Right. And you had freedom to act within the relationship that you had, right? Depending on what kind of sexual agreements and container and relationship relationship y'all had. But yeah, I do see this with a lot of people. The more that they live without their sense of freedom and the ability to flirt and the ability to, even if it's not like have sex with other people, even if it's just make connections and flirt and feel alive in that way, it does start to decrease. And I think that's also like a protective mechanism.
It is a protective mechanism. So physiologically, you won't be in longing all that time. That's stressful. So it's like, okay, shut that
And maybe
off.
you need to go internally because you're raising kids or whatever, right?
Law
like
of
it's not always the right time to
Right.
be out and
Right.
calling and living in that energy.
Right.
But if you don't also recognize that that is part of what makes people really flourish and feel alive, you're not taking advantage of all the things that you could do to have you feel alive.
energy.
Yeah. So I have to ask, because I'm sure you get to ask this a lot also.
I love it.
About jealousy.
Oh, yeah.
Men who feel like they're jealousy, they could never overcome jealousy in order to like have a non-monogamous relationship or like happily support their partner, their wife going on a date with someone. Like what do you say to them?
Well, obviously they don't know up level, because if they did, they could drop into those feelings and share that and have their wife soothe their ego. I soothe my husband's ego almost every day, all of them. And they have to soothe my ego every day.
Yeah.
I'm jealous all the time. All the time. I remember I went to Bali last year and I was mad as hell because I left and my husband now was there with his other wife and they could spend the whole 2 months together. I'm in Bali and I'm mad. I'm like, you never spent 2 months, the whole 2 months with me.
This is so, I can't tell you how reassuring this is for my heart. Thank you, Kenya.
And so what did I need? I needed him to hold space for me. I'm going to present my ego in a contained vent and he's going to soothe me.
Yeah.
I need to do it every day, maybe twice a day.
Yeah.
And I let my partner
and let him
do
have that
as
commitment of holding you.
I will hold you, baby, because you're going to be jealous.
Yeah.
It doesn't go anywhere. It's like saying, I'm never going to be angry again. Yes, you are.
Right.
I'm never
Of
going to be
course you
sad
are.
again. Yes, you are.
And then you may need to also hold his other wife who's like, you just spent 2 hours holding your other wife and now I want your attention on me. Right?
I mean, all of these things. I've sat there and had those conversations with his other partners.
Yeah.
This is the community.
Well, when you're committed to actually like having it out, being open and authentic, and you know how to do that without hurting yourself and hurting others, right?
That's right.
Because you have a framework that allows you to express yourself and your truth.
Yes.
And I think a lot of people feel like if they do that, they're going to do damage because they just don't know that you can do it within a structure.
Well, they just never dealt with me. My systems are indigenous. They're indigenous African systems. They are the communication systems that helped us survive.
And they're
here.
universal too.
Of
like, thank you so
course.
much for going back into your lineage and pulling those out.
All of our, I mean, we're all from the same lineage.
That's true.
We're all
That's true.
one.
Yeah.
So I just brought them from the bowels of what was before it's been covered over by just not even like acting like you don't have any emotions.
Amazing.
That's American culture, right? Or British. Like we don't.
Yeah,
have
very
emotions.
British. Stiff upper lip.
Right.
Yeah. Mhm.
We done with that.
Where can people find you? Because I want them to find you.
They can find me at progressiveloveacademy.com, Progressive Love Academy on Instagram, and just Progressive Love Academy. It's the progressive community. It's a new way of being.
From couple to community.
Couples to community.
Thank you so much, Kenya, for coming on.